What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. We've got a good one and a special one here for you today. We got all four of your hosts back at it again. We got Colin Fursley,
What's up?
we got Marco Neto,
Uh,
and guys, we've officially gone worldwide. We got Oscar Morale coming in from London, baby.
what's up,
London.
guys?
This
Yep.
is a special one. We got four hosts, four different places all over the world, and we've got a great episode for you. Coming in, first of all, we got some spontaneous sports news and things going on in sports world in general. First of all, we got John Rahm signing with Live Golf. Really, really big signing. Big for the Live Golf Tour. First of all, it's a big contract, $300 million over 3 years. That's insane. I mean, that's too much money. That he's set for life. His kids are set for life. Grandparents set for life. But also this really sets a big kind of it pushes forward the next generation of live golf players for the next season, knowing that one of the best players who literally won the Masters this year has gone to the Live Golf Tour, the Saudi funded tour. This could shake up a lot of the PGA. Some PGA players could now feel more tempted to move into the Live Golf League, and let's see how this goes on moving forward. Congrats to John Rahm, and next up, spontaneous sports news, baby.
Yeah, so we got Luis Suarez making the move, long anticipated move, um, joining his friends Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Lionel Messi as a very formidable powerhouse here in South Florida. He signed a one-year deal, and actually, because interesting enough, because of what's going on with Messi and the paycheck cut that everyone else had to receive, he will only be receiving around 200,000 euros a year to join the squad. But it's worth it for him. He was the best player in the Brazilian league this past year. He won the Golden Ball, and that clearly shows that he is still an elite competitor at 37 years old. The Uruguayan is trying to have a great season with Inter Miami, especially with the hype of Inter Miami continuing to raise and level playing the MLS. As you could say, the Messi effect with the stadium coming soon in 2025. Um, this is great news for American soccer. Continues to diversify with more of these European studs. Um, had a lot of success in Europe and South America, coming over and just raising that level of play. Um, I think it's fantastic. I will segue quickly into the transfer portal, which is starting to heat up. Quite the unprecedented year so far. About 1,100 individuals entered the college football transfer portal on the first day. That is about double what entered this past season. And there's some big guys on the market. Big notable signing this morning. Former Oklahoma quarterback Dylan Gabriel did sign with the Oregon Ducks. His predecessor, Bo Nix, trying to head into the NFL draft after the season he just had. Some of the other big notable guys that are seeing switches. Duke's Riley Leonard trying to go to Notre Dame. Ohio State's Kyle McCord coming down to the U. These are all speculative, but still very interesting nonetheless. Coastal Carolina's Grayson McCall, he's trying to take over John Rice Plumlee here in UCF. And probably the biggest one is Jordan Travis's new predecessor, or the Travis is the predecessor to Mr. DJU out of Clemson and then Oregon, or Oregon State. He's trying to go to FSU. So a lot of moves here. Very interesting stuff for college football after the year that it's had so far.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
Oscar, what do you got for us?
Very recently, the Euro 2024 that is being hosted in Germany, the groups came out with only two more teams making it in through playoff brackets, and it's primed up to be a great one, guys. It's being hosted in Germany, my home country. I'm very excited. Germany in Group A as hosts automatically qualify. They're in the group with Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Uh, German football has been in a low recently. Double exits in the last two group stage exits in the last two World Cups. Very poor showings and immediate exit in the first round of the knockouts in the last Euro 2020 in England. So Germans and German football fans in general are just very poised for some sort of success. And because the German national football team or German national soccer team has a long-standing reputation of success and dominance as probably the most successful soccer team in history when it comes to consistently being successful. The second most World Cup titles behind Brazil, um, most finals appearances in the World Cup, most finals appearances in the Euro Cup, and tied for most uh, Euros won with three. Uh, so 3 Euros won. So they definitely are looking for a change to change it up, and this looks like this could be a group they could definitely qualify out of. Although Switzerland and Scotland could potentially upset. Now, Group B is a great group, possibly the group of death, but I think there's just one other group that's a little bit better than them: Spain, Croatia, and Italy. Uh, three incredibly and insanely talented teams. Poor Albania, I don't even give them a shot to make it out of this group. I hope they fight strong and they could probably pull up an upset against one of these teams. But I think this team, you definitely have to bring your A game if you want to qualify out of this group. If you're any of those three teams, Spain, Croatia, or Italy, and Italy automatically qualified as well as they are the last competition's winner from England. Group C, a little less exciting: Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia. I think England easily qualify out of this group, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Denmark also qualify. They got a pretty solid team. Um, I think that Group D is definitely going to be the group of death. You got the Netherlands, Austria, and France, and I definitely think Austria is a lot stronger than people are giving them credit for. I think they're going to be a dark horse in this tournament. The Netherlands have a great defense. They always play great as a team, and France is just probably the most talented team on paper in the world. Just absolute ballers on that team from start to finish, from offense to defense, and yeah, it's amazing that French team when they're firing on all cylinders, they're definitely a scary team to play, and I think that if they can get their chemistry together, they can make a very deep run. In Group E, you got Belgium, Slovenia, and Romania, plus the playoff winner for playoff winner B. I think there's an easy group for Belgium, but I don't think any teams in this group are going to get particularly far. And in Group F, you got Turkey, Portugal, and the Czech Republic, which I actually think Portugal.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really competitive matchup, and we'll see who will win.
I mean, I think France is gonna take it. Let's be real here, guys, but it's be a good one. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Well, now moving right along, we got some crazy news around Major League Baseball. We got two
Oh yeah.
blockbuster deals that just went down. First of all, we will talk about the seven-team trade that sent Padres outfielder Juan Soto to the New York Yankees, and the rich just keep getting richer here along Major League Baseball. What do you guys think of the move, the trade? Who do you think won the trade? And I don't know, just overall thoughts on what happened here.
You know, I'll start off with this. I believe the Yankees, before trading for Juan Soto, they traded for another outfielder from the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken, Verdugo,
Um,
Alex,
yeah, yeah, Verdugo
if I'm
went.
not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they've built an outfield. They've built a really good outfield here. They got Juan Soto, they got Aaron Judge, and now they have Verdugo. This is gonna be a high threat offense if teams could stay healthy. You know, if Aaron Judge could really just play like how he did at MVP season, be a great one. I think Juan Soto needed to get out of San Diego, and I think that's good for him. I think San Diego is a bad situation, and the Yankees, of course, not a poverty franchise, so
Yeah, absolutely.
it's it's a decent trade, and we'll see who gets the best of it. Trading away Michael King, I believe, was who went to the Padres. One of the star-studded players who once became a starter was averaging a 1.89 ERA. So that's the Padres gained some good pitching depth, but let's see how this plays out with the Yankees next year.
Yep. Mark, do you have anything to add, or should we move along to the next deal that just went down about a couple hours ago, actually?
Yeah, I'll add something quick. I mean, I've always been a fan of Juan Soto. Not a huge baseball guy, but he really is a dynamic guy. He always bats close to 300, in the 30s in home runs. He's a dynamic addition to any squad. So I
Hmm.
think that this is definitely a win for the Yankees, and I guess time will tell to see how he fits into that puzzle. Um, but it should be exciting, man. It should be exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's crazy. This guy won a World Series in 2019, something like that,
Hmm.
and he's only 25 years old, and he's already accomplished so much in this league.
Man, I feel like he's so much older. That's
I
crazy.
know, right? I know it's ridiculous. He just got an early start, and so he's I don't know, man. I mean, the Yankees, they could be scary. Well, now moving
Oh
on
yeah.
to a move that another California team made, we had one of the most lucrative, probably the most lucrative deal in North American sports history. Shohei Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million deal with the crosstown Los Angeles Dodgers.
I, I I don't know what to say, man. We all knew it was forthcoming that Shohei was going to one of these really big non-poverty teams like the Dodgers, or
Blue
like
Jays.
the Blue Jays, or even the Giants. We knew he was going to one of these teams that would pay him what he wants. But guys, this guy just had Tommy John surgery. He's not going to pitch next year. He's not going to pitch for the next year and a half. He won't be hitting up until probably the middle of next season. And you guys give him $700 million. I think that's insane. He's a pitcher, all right. He's a pitcher that hits. We know that, and he's a great player. And yeah, he's a two-time MVP. But 700 million is insane. I think if you give him 525, maybe 100 more than Mike Trout. Yeah, you got that right. 700 million is insane. I have a stat here that I actually saw here from Front Office Sports on Instagram. He will be making $133 a minute and $7,991 a day. Uh, sorry, an hour. My mistake. 7,000 an hour.
Oh my
A
god,
day he'll be making
How
191,000.
that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, guys. I mean, some people don't make $191,000 in 2 years, and this guy's making it in a day. Guys, I took the wrong route in life. I should have been Shohei Ohtani. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I mean, this is Dodgers, sign me. I'm a great, I can sit on the bench. I'll do what you want me to do. Give me the freaking money. I'll do whatever
I'll
you
be the
want.
best. I'll be the best stats guy you've ever seen in your life. Look,
I will,
I'll give my 2 cents on the whole Shohei ordeal.
Yeah.
From what I've read about him, from what I've watched about him, I will never condone. I've always been I would say I've always been on the other side of um, feeling like these big contracts are doing anything to diffuse all the money and power and influence that sports has in our daily lives. But the fact of the matter is that whichever way you slice it, he is one of the more dynamic players we've seen in the last decade in any sport. The things that he's been able to accomplish, um, besides his frame, besides his stature, his overall impact has been pretty unrivaled. So if we really are going to be dishing out the big bucks, I think nobody deserves it more than him. And he really is a one of a kind individual who has backed it up year after year. So I will never condone that amount of money being allocated to one individual. But if you are going to do it in this day and age of sports, I feel like there's no person more fitting than Shohei. So we'll see how this materializes. He remains the hometown guy, um, and we'll see how this transforms the league and future contracts. After we thought Mike Trout set the precedent, the ceiling continues to be breached. So what do you think, Colin?
Yeah, no, I I think it's unbelievable what he's been able to do. I do agree with Mark. I think and you in the fact that I think it's way too much money, but I don't think anyone is worth 700 like in any sport in any player. I just don't think they're worth it, and it's not because I think athletes shouldn't be paid this much. I just think he gets injured all the time. He's not going
Yeah.
to be playing like Mark said. He's not going to be pitching for another year and a half, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. He's not going to be hitting for another year. I just don't. I feel like there's too many variables, and he's just too inconsistent when it comes to his injuries to give
Mhm.
him that much money. Like I
The, 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 the
It's a reckless
Dodgers took a
contract.
big gamble. The Dodgers took a big gamble on this
yeah.
guy,
The thing is though is
expecting him to
the,
come back
yeah, the thing
from
is
his
though, the
injury and his
Dodgers have so
Yeah,
surgery.
much money. The
I think
Dodgers
it's
Yeah.
have
a
so
huge.
much money, so
I
it's
think
not. It doesn't really matter.
it's not only is it a huge gamble, but also you have to take a look right now at how much is guaranteed, because I don't believe it's 700 million guaranteed. I believe
It
No,
you
it's
no.
can.
it's it's 700 guaranteed.
Yeah,
Is
in
it
also in
actually?
And
baseball, and every single contract is guaranteed.
mhm.
That's why
So
this is
this
Wow.
disgusting and borderline questionable. That's why.
if
Given the
one
guaranteed clause.
one thing I would like to mention that I did see as well, I believe on Bleacher Report, was that Shohei Ohtani's contract is worth more than the Arizona Coyotes NHL franchise entirely. This man's contract is worth more than an entire state's NHL franchise. And yeah, maybe this team isn't the best, all right? There are teams that are good, there are teams that are bad, but he's worth more than
This
a
is
whole
one
franchise.
individual.
This is one player. And the Dodgers, they they've been one of the best teams, and they've been really solid these last 12 years. They've been in the World Series so many times. But is this they're doing all this just to get out of the first round of the playoffs, to get out of the divisionals? I mean, guys, let's be realistic here. You're doing great, but the Braves, come on. Like, they're doing good too. The Phillies, they're doing great too. You got the Baltimore Orioles working their way up. You got the Mariners working their way up. I mean, if you're doing all this just for one player, maybe don't spend it on one guy and get like a well-rounded crew if you really want to go for the World Series. But is that the goal in mind? Is that the goal in mind for the Los Angeles Dodgers?
Well, I don't think
What
they
is?
care. They have so much money. They can give Shohei 700 million and then go and give Ronald Acuna this
Yeah,
and Trout
but
this and that
it,
this and like they have
it's this
unlimited
is
money.
we're gonna get to a
Sadly.
point. You're gonna get to a point in sports history and sports contract history where there are players being signed for $1 billion,
Yeah,
exactly one
that's
billion
that's what I'm.
dollars,
That's
Yes.
and
exactly what I'm
uh,
scared of. I don't want to
that's
see the $1 billion contract.
that's that's gonna get to a point where I'm sorry, but some people, some parents, as a parent, maybe for example, I would tell my kid, don't do anything else. Go play sports. Go make billions of dollars, and then come retire me. You know, and this is what the
Only it
next
was
day
that
and age,
easy.
the next generation of sports is gonna be. And yeah, I know it's not easy. Less than 1% of all athletes make it to the major leagues, to the NFL, to the NBA, to the NHL. But this is too much money. This is
Yeah.
too much money for a guy with such. This is such a big gamble. This is bigger gambling than like in Las Vegas, betting $35,000 on black, which by the way, always bet on black.
All right. Well, I'll close it out with this. Half the money's going back to California in taxes anyway, so whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Sensational. Se-
Sensational.
what is it that Future
Sensational.
says? Sensational.
Who
Keep
Uh,
it
knows what
going,
the
man.
state of
California,
California is
keep it
going
up,
to
baby.
allocate that funds to? So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, well now we're gonna move on to we got a great game tonight. The first ever NBA in-season tournament is coming to a close with the finals tonight between the Indiana Pacers and the Los Angeles Lakers. So, what have you guys thought about the tournament so far? Any surprises? I think the Pacers might have been a surprise to a lot of us. And who do you think is going to win tonight?
I mean, Margaret, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll give a quick. I have been following basketball a little bit. Honestly, as we talked a couple episodes ago, I wasn't a huge proponent of this tournament. I do think it has its flaws, not only in an incentive base, from an incentive front with these players that are competing for, real chips. Not to fall in love with the pennies instead of the dollars. Um, But I do think that overall, I think this did do good for the league. It was, a good promotional, I would say, from a business standpoint. I think that the Indiana Pacers, in my opinion, have been a little bit of a surprise. They're a very talented team. I would never count LeBron. I'll never count LeBron out until he retires. So honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think. This one could be a toss-up, but overall, I do think that as the pilot of the league, um, in terms of from a promotional standpoint, um, this is like the culmination of it all. So interested to see what you guys are thinking tonight.
I mean, I'll start off with the whole like how I felt about the in-season tournament, and I feel like we've noticed throughout teams playing, players got more invested into it, and I think that's a good thing for the league, and it shows teams are playing their heart out. The playoffs were also really interesting. It's a one and done. Play your A game or you don't, and you're out. So I think that's a cool format. Tyrese, man, for the Pacers. I mean, he's been
Absolutely.
playing out of his mind.
Yeah, this
I mean,
tournament put him on the map for a lot of people. He's been going.
this guy is insane. I mean,
Well,
it's
well,
like four. He's
as
like
as as Mark says, he's been going ballistics.
ballistics. This guy's averaging like almost. This guy, I swear to God, every time I look at the the
Averaging
charts,
11
this guy's
assists, I
40
believe.
points a game.
Well,
Oh my
Yeah,
I'm not
god.
that
that's
many, but
insane. But hey, you can't bet against LeBron. You can't count out against LeBron. And it's cool. Maybe this could be LeBron's only time he'll be in the final for the in-season tournament. His career is coming to an end. Um, I mean, I say that, and this guy will probably play for the next 15 years. Who knows? But hey, you can't count out LeBron. You can't count these guys out. I wouldn't mind seeing the Lakers, but I mean, again, it's just shout out
Mark,
to Tyrese, man.
Mark,
Mark,
who do you think's gonna win, Mark? Mark, who do you think's gonna
Yeah,
win?
Lakers.
Lakers. All right, Oscar. What's
Yeah,
up? What do you think?
Marco, thank you
yeah.
guys for the formalities, but for keeping it real, for keeping it a bean. Ain't nobody care about the in-season tournament. Nobody gives no damn about no in-season
Uh,
tournament, all right? Look, listen here.
Hey, you're not
Listen
on
here.
wrong. You're
God,
not wrong.
Listen
on
here,
God,
all right?
on God.
Listen here. Who should win? The Lakers should win, all right? Until the Pacers show they can do something in the playoffs. Like, they're a cool team. They're really fun to watch. I like them a lot. But do I think they're going to be a great playoff team? I don't see them making it out of the second round. I think they make it out of the first round, not out of the second round. That's just my verdict, okay? What I think. I think they're a really cool team. They have a lot of potential for the future. I like what Indiana is doing with that team. I like what the organization is doing. I like where they're heading. But nobody gives a damn about this in-season tournament. The one good thing I will give it is that it gives a chance for young teams like these Pacers to show themselves and to exhibit the talent that they have. But when it
Yeah.
matters the most, I just have to take the Lakers over the Pacers, and I'm sorry, but this tournament is kind of a joke.
I mean,
If it's
a
one more
lot of
thing I
a
could
lot of, a lot of
I
players
could
were
mention real
saying
quick.
though. A lot of sorry, Mark. A lot of I just wanted to say this one thing. A lot of players were saying though that the 500K that they get for winning is like a pretty big incentive for them. So I mean, even though these guys make millions and millions of dollars, 500K is 500K, and I've been seeing a lot of clips of people talking
Sure,
about that. So I think that they
Yeah.
do care a little bit in that sense.
sure.
Like they want their money.
Hey, and
Yeah,
if there's one more thing I could say, in general, maybe about, not just about the in-season tournament, but about the NBA. With their Skims sponsorship. Hey, Kim K, I'll take some if you want, baby. Listen, if you want to send me some Skims boxers, some wife beater tank tops, girl,
dude,
send them over.
I might
I
not
don't.
look like Shai Alexander or Nick Bosa, but I'll put on some skin for you, kid.
Man, if Adam Silver is wearing those mother truckers,
Oh
I
my
sure
God.
hope I can. All right. So, Kim K, call me up, baby. You already know my phone's always open. You can call me anytime. And also for the incentives for the
Somebody put
NBA,
a
I did
leash on this
notice,
guy.
man, a lot of the players said they're going to use this for their children, save it up, put it for their children's college funds, or
Yeah,
just put it in maybe a children retirement fund, which is I think is really cool for some of these
yeah.
players. they're thinking outside the box for this money, and it gives them an incentive. Play for your kids. That's pretty cool. But
I
I
like
think it'd be
that.
cool maybe
Well,
they do you play for a charity. But hey, this is a decent way if some players are thinking about it. So
Yeah.
kudos to them.
Yep,
With, with the
absolutely,
skims, he
absolutely.
turns he
All
turns from Adam Silver into Adam Gold. You know what I mean?
They can turn me from Mark Francis to Pope Francis. I don't care.
that was a good one, brother. All right. Well, let's move along now to probably the most controversial thing that has happened this entire year in sports: the CFP top four that the committee voted on. A lot of outrage has been happening. A lot of people thought that Florida State should have made it over Alabama. Here are the final four. Michigan will be playing Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and then you got Washington versus Texas in the All-State Sugar Bowl. So, Mark, I want to start off with you. Did the committee get it right?
Man, let me say one thing. I told you that Alabama was gonna make the playoffs. I told you. Go back to the last podcast and see it. Okay? I told you. I told you. Don't count out Nick Saban. I told you these guys were going in. Don't count me out. I'm him. Nick Saban. This guy's built a squad. But look, man, this is it, it, it's a tough decision that the committee has to make, and Florida State, looking at it from the bigger picture, yeah, they're the undefeated team, and they've played great, and maybe I mean they did say they have to. They said they factor in the fact that the quarterbacks is he's out, and are they thinking about the same way how they thought about with TCU last year, where they literally went into the finals and got absolutely demolished by Georgia? Possibly. Do I think it's the right thing to do? No. Do I
No.
think Alabama should make it? Yeah. I'm.
Mm.
I think it's still going to be a good playoff,
Well, Mark,
but
Wait, but
it's.
who do you,
comment.
who do you think should have made it?
I don't think Texas should have made it.
mm,
Well,
Texas. So who
Mark,
would you put
Mark,
in instead of Texas State?
I would put. I I would put. It would have been Texas and Oregon personally. I would.
Wait. What?
I would if I take out Texas, I would put in Oregon,
I would
Georgia,
agree.
Ohio
I would
State, or
agree.
Oregon?
Florida.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I would
whoa,
agree.
whoa, whoa, whoa!
wait, so you're
Oregon.
saying you would revamp the entire top four?
I would no, no.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would.
no, no,
There's a
I
couple
wouldn't,
things that changed.
I
There's a,
wouldn't revamp the entire top four. I think Michigan and Washington being there is right. I think
Yeah.
that the pick number 3 and 4, it could have been anyone, guys. It could
yeah,
have
I
been
think. Well,
I
anyone.
agree with that too.
I
Yeah,
think. I think you got to take
Oregon?
out
How do you
Texas.
put Oregon in front of
not
Georgia
Oregon though.
State?
I think you got to put
Man,
Texas and put
I mean,
in, like Mark
Oregon's
said,
been
either
playing well
Oregon
as well. I mean,
or
you
They
can't
Ohio
count
lost
them
State,
two
out.
games.
because
They lost
Ohio
two
It
State,
games.
doesn't.
the only time they lost was
It
to
doesn't
Michigan,
matter. I mean, yeah, I
number
guess
one
they
ranked,
lost two
and it was a
games, but
close
still.
game. Like it wasn't like it was a blowout. So
Wait,
This really shows why we should be excited for the 12 team playoffs for next year, because yeah, Florida State should have been in this, but I
well,
told you Alabama was gonna make it,
wait, I'm so
and
confused. Hold on. You think Florida State should have been this, but you're putting Oregon and Alabama in front of them? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm just saying Texas, Florida State, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, all those could have been teams that could take Texas' spot. They're all basically at the
Okay, wait,
same
hold on.
skill
Mark,
level, in
Mark,
my
Mark. I'm
opinion.
asking you straight up. What is your top four? What would you have done?
My top four, I would have done Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Alabama. That's my personal top four.
Okay,
But
and that makes more
that
sense.
Hey, that's a
that
lot
that's
more concise.
I don't know
that's
why
That's a
that's
lot more
my.
concise.
bro.
I'm sorry, Florida State went undefeated, guys. I mean, the committee. You can't look at that. It doesn't matter. They had their quarterback out and they still won.
UCF went
This they
undefeated in 2017.
So did
That
Colorado
doesn't
School
count.
of
That's a
Mines.
fake. That's a fake championship. Take the
Go
banner.
Orange Diggers! We're in the
Look,
semifinals
look,
right now, baby. Playing.
Shut
look,
up.
we won't get into that, and we won't get into D2 football either. I'll give my little 2 cents on this. I'll keep it brief in the essence of time. Um, I'll keep it brief in the essence of time, but I do think that Michigan and Washington solidified themselves as the top two teams in college football this year. Um, from what I've talked to with my dad as well, I mean, Nick Saban always finds a way. I knew that in some way, shape, or form. Just rolling around December, Alabama was going to find themselves in this playoff. Um, and we'll see how it is next year because honestly, I think they should have gone to 8. I feel like
I
8
agree.
instead of 12. But
I
I mean,
agree.
the
Yeah.
top 4
100%.
does get a bye. I just still feel like going from 4 to 12 is too much of a jump in my opinion. That's probably
Yeah.
a topic for another day. But
I
in
agree.
my personal opinion, I think 8 is more of a sweet spot. Still makes it competitive. 12 just feels like, yeah, let's just add 8 spots. Like, I think you're messing with the fabric a little bit. But I will say, in terms of what happened, um, I am not a Florida State fan by any stretch of the imagination. Um, and regardless of the quarterback situation, I think this is purely on the basis of formality. I feel like if you put up the type of season that they put up, with the opponents that they played, everybody gets themselves into some sticky situations when it comes to opponents, but they were still able to thug it out. 13 wins. Um, I think that should be honored. In any case, I don't think
Yeah.
there's any variability in that decision. And it's funny to see Rick Scott now with the Senate asking for recordings from that meeting and actual statistics because it does leave a head scratcher. Not only with Florida State fans everywhere, but I do feel like if you were to revamp this top 4, I would keep those top 2 teams. I would put
Yeah.
Florida State at 4. Um, and in the essence of having, if they really wanted to, exclude Florida State because of the lack of quarterback, influence, then let's just call it how it is. Alabama usually figures it out, so I would honestly have the same pairing that Mark just put up. I would also put Alabama and Florida State at 3 and 4. Um, in the essence of still having a good playoff, who cares if you think they're going to be the first out? They deserve to be there, so you have to put them in there. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be a little bit controversial right now.
We,
All right.
we, we by the way, guys, if may mention one thing, Colin is a FSU expert. So out of all the guys, this guy knows what he's talking about. So
Yeah, I'm a big
Yeah,
fan.
yeah,
I'm a
that's
huge
true.
FSU fan, which is gonna make what I'm about to say a little controversial. But I have to be honest. So I have to be objective. I have to be unbiased. And even though I would have loved Florida State to make this playoff, I agree with the committee mostly. There are still some things I disagree with, but I personally I don't think Florida State deserves to make it, and here's why.
wow,
They because the committee's
that's
goal is
crazy.
to put in the 4 best teams. Okay, it's not the 4 most deserving teams. In my opinion, Florida State is the most deserving team out of any of them because they lost their starting quarterback and played with their second and third string quarterbacks against a hostile environment against Florida and Gainesville, and in the ACC championship against a good Louisville team, and they beat both of those teams with the second and third string quarterback.
Yep.
Their defense is a championship defense. They have the heart, they have the grit, and they deserved to be in the top 4 without a doubt. However, do you think Florida State right now, because it's right now, it's not at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
right now, is Florida State better than Alabama?
Absolutely not.
They would get
No.
obliterated. Why? Because they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And it sucks what happened.
Period.
Well, like I
Period.
felt so bad for the team because they worked their butts off, and just because Jordan Travis broke his leg, they can't make it. I feel so bad for all of them.
That's
Colin,
brutal.
But
there's a
I mean,
easy
you also
Colin.
have to think about it. Like this has and me, like this has nothing to do with TCU. I don't care about TCU, but like if you put them in the top 4, and they would have played Michigan, bro. Like they wouldn't have scored a point. Like
No,
I don't. I'm
it would.
Yeah.
sorry. Like,
That would have been a straight obliteration.
Did you watch the Louisville game? That was the most pathetic game to watch of all time, and it made me really happy for this team because their defense was able to, like, almost shut out Louisville in a really dominant fashion. But they're not scoring any points against any of these teams. Okay, so that's my opinion. I think the committee got it right
It's
with
pretty objective.
putting Florida State
Yeah.
in. I agree. Here's my problem with this. I have a problem with Texas. My problem,
I have a problem
I
with Texas as
agree.
well.
I
I
have a
agree.
I
problem.
do not think Texas
That's
should
the
be
only
in
team
this.
that I didn't mention because that's the team I have a problem with.
Now they didn't even put them at number 4. They put them at number 3, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm really confused. Now here's what the committee's thinking. Right, Texas beat Alabama in week 2 of the season. Okay, so
Hmm.
head-to-head matchup, Texas is better than Alabama because they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, since they
In
beat
Alabama.
Alabama, which was at the beginning of the season. Like I said, at the beginning of the season, you have to honor that somewhat, but it's different now.
Yeah,
If you look at the
exactly.
regular season, since Alabama, they lost to Oklahoma. Okay, it's a rivalry game, and Oklahoma's good. I get it. Okay, that's one loss. They beat Houston, the University of Houston, by 7 points. Okay, then they beat Kansas State by only 3 points in overtime. And then they beat TCU, who's not even ranked anymore, by 3 points. And then they beat Iowa State by 10 points. They've had all these really close games against teams that are kind of bad,
Are
you know.
are
They're
inferior,
not really good.
inferior when it comes to this conversation.
No, I completely.
Meanwhile, Alabama, let me pull this up real quick. Alabama beat
Wait,
the
quick.
number one team in the country
Yep.
based on what the committee thought. And that's the best win out of any team. So I think they should have been number 3, personally. I would have
Yeah.
took Texas out. I would put Alabama at number 3. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention, I would have swapped Michigan and Washington. I think Washington's number 1, Michigan's number 2. Washington beat Oregon twice, and Michigan only beat Ohio State. That was a great win, but they barely played any good teams.
We
Also,
had talked about the Michigan
Yeah.
strength of schedule
Yeah.
throughout the
They
year.
put out
See,
Iowa.
so
Who
this
cares? Iowa can't.
this brings me to one thing. Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's say the committee got it right and they put Alabama at 3.
Yeah,
Who would you put in at 4?
yeah, I was
Because
just about to say.
personally,
Thank
I
you.
would not put Texas because I'm curious who you would say.
Yeah.
no,
Because
I
if you're
agree.
thinking what I'm thinking,
Yeah,
then I think we would have had one of the best playoffs of all time.
I think
I put Florida State. They get obliterated by Michigan, and we
I
just
think
move on with our
no.
lives.
I
No,
think
I don't
I
think
think
I don't think you
like
would put
Texas.
Florida
I
State.
wouldn't. I would not have put Texas, and I do not like Florida State because it sucks. They should be
Yeah.
in based off the record.
Yeah.
It's just It's just an unfortunate
Wait,
situation.
can you guys hear
Yeah.
me? You guys
Number
can hear me.
4 is Georgia. Okay.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is why
Yep.
they've been the
Well,
number
Georgia has
one
not.
team. They've been the number one team all year. If
They've won
Georgia,
25 or
low-key.
26 games in a row. Yeah.
if Georgia played Alabama in week 1 and Alabama won, and they go undefeated the rest of the season, 12 of the last 12 games, is the committee leaving them out? Heck no. Heck no. The only reason they got left out is because they lost in the last week. It was just
Yeah.
unfortunate timing for them. Listen to this. Georgia beat Kentucky, number 20 at the time, 51-13.
Yep.
Then they beat Missouri, number 12 at the time, by 9 points. Then they play number 9 in the country, Ole Miss, and win 52-17.
Yep.
And then they play Tennessee, 18, and won 38-10. They're obliterating all these ranked
They're, yeah.
teams.
It
And
literally.
just because
Literally.
they lost by 3 points in the SEC championship game to Alabama, they get yanked entirely from number 1 to number 6. What are you
I think
doing?
that's stupid.
It doesn't
think
make
that-
any sense.
You see, ideal playoff, right? Ideal playoff, right? Colin, you're right. You know, if the committee was
Absolutely
right,
right.
Washington would be 1, Michigan would be 2.
Mhm.
You could flutter between Alabama
at
and
3
Georgia
and
3 and
Georgia
4.
No,
I
no,
think
you
they're-
can't. You can't because Alabama just beat Georgia. You can't tell me Georgia's better. They just lost.
No,
Yeah,
You're
but-
putting,
no. Yeah. So I lock in Alabama at 3 and then
Yes.
Georgia 4. That would have been a very good playoff
would've
and
been-
very
yeah.
deserving because
Yeah,
that was the main problem that I had with Texas that I didn't mention before. Texas had a very, very slippery slope to get to this number 3 position.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought
Where
when
were
I
they
heard
ranked?
actually a couple. No, they were like 7.
Previously. Where were they ranked
think they were-
previously
I
before
believe
the
they
week?
were 7. I believe.
They were
How do you
7,
go
Mark,
from 7 to 3?
without a huge notable win either. So that's where my question comes in. That's where me as a
I don't
fan,
think
I'm
that.
sitting here. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm not sure why Georgia gets dumped that far back. It's recency bias. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Just like Colin said, if this would happen in the beginning of the season, we would be having a much different conversation. I think a good, entertaining playoff would have been including those 4 teams. I can't agree with the argument of Washington being 1. They've been winning in a dominant fashion. Penix has been outstanding. So I think that is a good summation of a team that has literally been at the top of college football, not for a year, for years, in the Georgia Bulldogs. I think they got robbed, arguably more than Florida State.
Okay, I don't think you can say that they won 29 games in a row, so they should be in because, like, that was last season. This is not last season; it's this season. So I don't really
Yeah,
think we
but
can use the excuse of they've been good for so long, so they should be in. That doesn't make any sense to me. But they still were good, and they still should be in. The only argument people are making is that Texas beat Alabama, but I still don't think that is as like it's worth as much as it should be because of what happened the entire rest of the season. That's
Yeah.
man,
that's what I
if
think.
if looking at this bracket now, okay, what do you guys think would be the finals, and who do you guys think would win
Oh,
the
Alabama's
championship?
beating Washington. Alabama's winning the whole thing. They're beating Washington. That's my prediction.
I think so as well. I think
Yeah,
I
I would say
I
Alabama,
think so as well.
Washington, and then
Yeah, I don't I
Alabama.
Oscar, what do you think?
I think. Well, I
Hello?
think. Yeah, I'm right here.
I think we've been having some technical difficulties with Oscar. I apologize.
Hello,
I
can you
mean, we're
guys
all
hear me
calling
now?
from 4 different locations. I'm calling
Yeah.
from Miami. Mark's calling from Golden. Colin's calling from Gainesville. He's in London.
Can you
So
guys hear
I'm trying to
me?
make this
Can you
work
guys
for
hear
you.
me?
All right. Well,
this is
yeah. So we all agree Alabama's gonna win. I mean,
yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but just
Man, we could be completely wrong, and Texas comes in and shuts everyone up and wins the whole thing,
that's true.
and I would be flipping pissed.
That's
I
true.
would be mad.
Dude, I saw a clip on ESPN that Booger McFarland picked Texas to win the whole thing. I don't understand it, but
Bro, get this guy out of here. The only guy from ESPN I listen to is Pat McAfee.
oh man. All right. Well, let's move on. We're gonna go now into the NFL.
hmm
Uh, so we will go into NFL Week 13 recap. So
Recap, run it
re-
back.
recap, run
Yeah.
it back. All right. So Thursday Night Football, crazy game. I think one of 4 games in NFL history that had no punts. It was a really
Yeah.
fun game to watch.
That was really cool.
So we got the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. Cowboys squeaked out a win there at the end.
Man, if I could just say one thing, the Seahawks have one of the hardest schedules moving forward. And
Yeah.
they played a really good game.
Yep.
People are saying they have a really hard schedule, kind of out of the playoffs.
Hello, can you guys hear me
I
now?
wouldn't do that yet, guys. I would not do that. This guy's a dark horse team. These guys could come in as a 7 or 6 seed. But oh yeah, it's a great game, man. How about them Cowboys? I hate saying that. But
Yep. All right. Colts Titans, crazy game. Went into overtime. 2 blocked punts, a pick 2. Saw it all there. Falcons beat the Jets in a horrible game. So they
we
both.
don't even talk about that.
The Lions
Hello,
scored
can you guys
21
hear me?
points. I believe 5. Oh yeah. Oscar's back. Here we go.
All right, perfect.
We can hear
I was
you.
just gonna say, yeah, sorry, quickly. I was just gonna say, yeah, I think Georgia. It was either between Ohio or Georgia for me, instead of Texas, and I think Georgia definitely deserved to be in there. And I think Washington should have been first, then Michigan, then Bama, then Georgia, and I think it would have been Bama and Georgia in the finals.
Nice. Yeah. So we all agree. We all think Bama and Georgia should have been in. All right. Well, the Lions they scored 21 points, I believe, in the first 5 minutes, and then the Saints almost came back and gave them a little
Yeah.
scare at the end.
Mhm.
The Texans beat the Broncos.
Broncos country was not riding, guys. I told you.
I also called that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
The Chargers beat the Patriots 6.
That was the worst game
And
of all
the
time.
Most pathetic game.
Somehow the most boring
I would
game
have-
What
ever.
a
I was
what a
not
boring
expecting
game.
that.
What a
I
boring game.
I would rather watch paint dry than watch that dang game, man.
I was actually on Instagram Reels watching forget what exactly it is. It's like where they have to climb a piece of wood with no assistance, and that was really entertaining. That was my main source of entertainment, and then that game was in the background. So
Wow. Well, we got Oscars
Upset alert.
hit. The Steve Cardinals beat the Seahawks.
Upset alert!
So that was great to see there. The Dolphins
Steelers are overrated.
the Dolphins absolutely whacked the Commanders.
Yes.
Buccaneers beat the Panthers. The 49ers in the game of the year potentially. Well, they absolutely obliterated the Eagles. So
Mhm.
And I think it lived up to game of the year because
Great
of how
game to
unexpected it was.
yep.
Man,
but-
Debo. If I might just say one thing real quick, Debo
Yeah.
Samuel, bro, that guy was locked in. He came out wearing black Air Forces. He had the ski mask on. That guy was not playing. 3 tutties, I believe.
Yep.
Dude, this guy, Debo in black Air Forces, run away. I'm not even literally run away. Like the door
Took
that
little-
way. Go.
Yeah,
Go.
I have to agree with you, Mark.
Quick little fun fact about that game too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that little altercation between the chief of security for the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
That is my roommate's dad's personal best friend, Big Dom.
What?
He's also friends with the chief of police in Philly. He's one of the most dangerous guys in Philadelphia. You do not want to cross him. So no wonder whoever it was that the 49ers player, no wonder he apologized publicly because he knew Big Dom was coming after him. I know my roommate Tommy. He grew up playing football and baseball with Big Dom's kid. Like this guy's legit, and you do not want to mess with the Eagles, even though they got embarrassed on national TV.
Hey, well,
49ers are looking scary.
he might want to mess with the NFL because they just banned him from being on the sideline for the rest of the year. So
Yeah, they did. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But
Lawsuit coming soon.
yeah. Well, the Rams they beat the Browns. Joe Flacco, I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty good. Like I was watching some of that game. Joe Flacco.
old man Flacco.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Packers with a massive upset of the reigning champion Kansas
Let's
City.
go. Let's go.
This
Let's
puts-
go.
This,
F the Chiefs.
this game, along with the Bengals and Jake Brown going absolutely crazy beating the Jaguars, put the Dolphins at first place in the conference. So let's go.
Go Fins, baby.
Upsets there. Also, prayers up though for Trevor Lawrence. He did twist high ankle sprain. Kind of sucks for him.
Yeah,
But,
unfortunate, man.
It's good for the
He'll be
Dolphins,
back soon, though.
Oh man, yeah,
The
So
Chiefs
how are
got that
the
badonk.
yeah.
how are the records looking, man? Let's see.
Let's look at the records. All right, so I'm in
Second
first
place.
I got a 2-game lead over Mark and Marco, who are both tied at 46 and 25, and then Oscar is 1 game back of them, 45 and 26. Last week, Marco and Oscar they went 10 and 3. Me and Mark didn't do so well, 9 and 4, but we still wasn't terrible. Hopefully, we can pick things up again this week. So
Hopefully.
let's go. Okay, so those are the records. Now, before we get into our Week 14 predictions, we did this a couple weeks ago, but now we're gonna do our NFL Power Rankings. So, Mark, you want to lead it off? Who are your top 6 teams in the NFL?
Yeah, so listen, I'm not Stephen B, and I'm not gonna recreate Stephen A or Stephen B, or maybe even go Stephen C. I'm doing Mark style.
All
So, guys, we got number 6. We got the Lions, man. I still think they're up there. I still think they're a great team. Can't count them out. Detroit, hey man. Dan Campbell, hey man. Dude, but at 5, man, how about them Cowboys, baby? How about them Cowboys, bro? They're riding, bro. Broncos country may not be riding, but how about them Cowboys? Those mother truckers be riding. Tell you that for dang sure. And then, you move into number 4, these guys dropped a little bit in the rankings, Fly Eagles fly. Yeah, they're flying down the rankings, baby. They're flying down. That loss against the 49ers, no bueno. No can do. They're coming for you. We're coming for you. The Eagles, you're flying down. Number 3, we got the Miami Dolphins, I still think the Dolphins are the second best team in the AFC, but they don't beat out the Ravens coming in at number 2. Ravens, man, those guys, man, they're playing like dogs, And, I just, man, if we could get a Super Bowl of this number 1 and number 2 teams, which would be the 49ers and the Ravens. 49ers coming in at my number 1 spot, playing out of their minds again. I'm not a big fan of the whole Brock Purdy MVP thing because he just throws the ball to the 5-yard slant and then their guys run away and they get touchdowns. But if that wins you an MVP, I mean, I could be an NFL quarterback winning an MVP, but if that's what wins games, baby, then those are my rankings. 49ers coming in on top.
NFL check down.
Controversial? I don't know. Let's see.
So you got 49ers, Ravens, Dolphins, Eagles, Cowboys, Lions.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Next,
sir.
Marco, what do you got, my man?
Interesting, guys. I have not followed the NFL as closely as you guys, but from what I know, from what I've been able to watch in any limited capacity, I do have a much different list than Mark. Some similarities, but I see things in more of like a long-term standpoint. So just take this for whatever it's worth. Coming in at number 6, I'm putting the Detroit Lions. Also, I really do like what they have going for them. I think Dan Campbell, I did not think he was that good of a coach in the last couple of years. He's definitely stepped it up. Among Us, AKA Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he's a really dynamic guy. They got some good pieces like Sam Laporta that I've seen in the past. I am a Jared Goff guy. I think he has resurfaced in the league. So I think that the Lions have a lot of upside right now. At number five, I'm gonna put Kansas City because I can never rule out Kansas City. I think Patrick Mahomes. Stop shaking your head, Mark. This is an equal opportunity discussion, little boy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'll just
I
showcase freedom of expression. Freedom of
Sure,
expression.
buddy. Sure, buddy. I think that Kansas City, you can never rule out Kansas City. I think they have proven in the last couple of years that they are a formidable squad and they can turn it on when they need to. I don't care how you slice it. I think the Dolphins are one of the best teams in the league. And Kansas City showed them that they were boss a couple weeks ago. I know that's one instance, but I still think that Kansas City shows strokes of genius when they need to. That's why I'm putting them at five. At number four, a lot lower than maybe you guys would put it. Um, at number four, I'm putting the Ravens. I think the Ravens are a really good team. I personally have not seen them a whole lot, but I think they deserve to make the list. I think Lamar Jackson, as my fantasy quarterback, he is a very, very dynamic quarterback. They have a lot of pieces on offense, a lot of pieces on defense. I think they can make a deep playoff run as well. This is when things get a little dicey. Um, I still believe fully that the Philadelphia Eagles are, even though my roommate Tommy is a huge fan and I'm a Dolphins fan for life, I still feel like the Eagles at this point in time, despite what happened last week, are a better team than the 49ers. So I'm going to put the 49ers at number three, Eagles at number two, and the Miami Dolphins at number one. I haven't seen the Miami
Wow.
Dolphins. I have not seen this team like I've seen them right now. I feel like we have one of our best coaches that we've ever had. I feel
My
like our
man,
offense
Mike.
is truly special, and we can turn it on whenever we need to. I I personally have never seen an offense like this. An offense like this would have to take me back to some of Brady's teams. When we do connect and do what we're supposed to do, our offense and defense can beat any team in the league at any given day. That's why, for me, the Miami Dolphins are number one, and the Eagles and the 49ers are interchangeable. So that's what I'm riding with right now.
Let's go, baby. I like it. I like it.
It's a good
I
one.
Live
like that
from
too.
London. What do you think, Mr. Oscar?
All right, so I've had to do a last minute switch. I had originally the Houston Texans at six, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I wanted them there, but I got to put the Chiefs at number six. Marco's right. You
Yeah.
can't count the Chiefs out until they're out, and they're still in the race. They still have their division winners for sure. So you have to see them in the playoffs, and that's a scary team because they have Patrick Mahomes, the best player in the NFL. Well, not this season, but all things considered, the best player in the NFL come playoff time. So I got the Chiefs at six. Then at number five, I have Fly Eagles Fly, flying all the way down the rankings, especially from where I had them last time, down to number five. I'm steal that one from you, Mark. I know I'm not no Stephen B either. I don't provide the energy
Fly Eagles fly.
like Stephen B, but I got to put the Eagles at five. Then at number four, I got the Dallas Cowboys. They are playing some darn
Wow.
good football. I don't like the Cowboys, but you got, game recognized game. And the Cowboys, they're a good football team right now. And I can't wait to see them as a Dolphins fan so we can beat them. And the Cowboys fans can get off their high horse. But they're really good and they're beating everybody that's in front of them by a pretty wide margin. So you can't blame them. They're just beating the people that are in front of them. Um, then at number three, I have the other birds in the National Football League, the Baltimore Ravens. That's a sick football team up there in Baltimore and Maryland. They got a great defense, very physical, very stout, well coached. Lamar Jackson is balling out. He is always a dual threat. He's a very underrated thrower. I think people oftentimes sell him short on how good he can throw the ball. And
Yup.
hey, man, when OBJ and Zay Flowers are on their A game, they're a scary team to beat. Now, uh, they have some inconsistencies on offense, but if they can get their stuff together for the playoffs, they'll be a very hard out or they can make it to the Super Bowl. Honestly, I can't see it. Now at number two,
Yeah.
I have the greatest football team, the Miami Dolphins. Miami
Miami
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Miami
Miami
Dolphins number
Dolphins number
one.
two. Yes,
That's an knee slapper.
Ah,
I
got
had
him
to
there.
I had to put him at number two. Sadly, I want them at number one. Uh, you know, I think everybody on this podcast knows. You guys have all said it. When this team's clicking, they're unbeatable. But I want to see just a little bit more consistency before I can put them at number one. I love the way the defense is progressing, and I have faith in our offense. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. But at number one, just the sheer and utter dominance against a reference mark, the Black Air Force energy. I would I wouldn't want to go against any, like, I would fear this team the most right now in the NFL. Like, I wouldn't want to go against them at all. Not at all. And that's the San
Yeah.
Francisco 49ers, man. They are a scary, scary team. The rich get richer.
Yeah.
You got Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Chase Young on defense. Oh my freaking God, man. You got Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy, he is a very good player. Don't get me wrong. Not the best quarterback, but very solid. You can count on him for sure. Kyle
He's a system
Shanahan,
quarterback.
I wouldn't go that far, but he Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. You got Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel balling out of his mind. Oh my God, his resurgence has been crazy. George Kittle, arguably, like when he's on his A game, probably one of the best. If you can make a case for him to be the best tight end when he's on his A game in the league.
Huh?
And Brandon Ayuk, when he plays good too. Oh my God, that is the scariest team in the National Football League when they are on their A game. And that is my
Yep.
top six power rankings, straight and live from London, England.
Live from London.
Live from London. And now coming back, your favorite host, Mr. Stephen B. Colin Firstly Smith.
Yo, what's good, guys? We have the Stephen B list, not the A list, the B list. Oh, guys, you gotta remember. Oh, wait, I forgot. Marco didn't see this last time. Marco, you missed Stephen B. This is your first look at Stephen B. Yo!
I think my face says it all right now.
Hey, man. We got the list, the top 6 teams in the NFL. But remember, guys, the list is fluid, okay? The list is fluid. That's all you gotta know. At number 6, bam!
Bam! Let's go!
Detroit Lions. Now, same old Lions, new Lions. We don't know. They've been struggling lately. They almost lost to the Saints, but they're still a good team. They're still 9-3, and I gotta put them at number 6. Armon Rock. He's that dude now. He's that dude. Jared Goff's been balling, but they ain't number 5 though. Number 5, bam. I'm a little harsh on this team. They're my team. I gotta be honest, bro. The Miami Dolphins, number 5 on the list. Now here's why. Who have they beat? I said it last time. Who have they beat? They still got to beat a formidable team for me to put them higher up the list because there are 4 good teams in front of them that I can't jump them yet. But Tyreek Hill, he's that dude now. MVP.
MVP.
No,
MVP.
sir! No, sir!
MVP.
Dude, they gotta switch it from the quarterback VP to the MVP, bro. Come on now.
But guess what, though? They ain't number 4. Give it to me. Bam!
Bam!
I hate this team, but the Dallas Cowboys at number 4. Dak Prescott, he's playing real nice right now. All right? They got CeeDee Lamb. He's been balling. The defense, Michael Parsons, you see him? Bro, he's so good. They don't even know where he is on the field. They didn't even block him last game. You see that? They didn't even block him. They didn't know where
Supposedly
he was.
that was intentional. Supposedly. Oh my God.
Yeah. He was invisible. It was an excuse. Dallas Cowboys, they're number 4, but they number 3 though. Bam! I know they just lost, but they still have the best record in the league. The Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Number 3 on the list. Jalen Hurts, he's
Birds, still
Yeah.
birds.
I'm pretty confident though that it was just an off game. They're still really good. They played a really good team. They're number 3. I gotta put them on number 3. But AJ Brown's going crazy. The defense is going crazy. They just signed. Who the heck did they just sign? I don't even remember who it was.
No one cares.
The guy Shaq Leonard from the Colts. They just signed him.
Oh.
They're trying to make
Alright, some
yeah.
people care.
Yeah. Some people care. The Eagles, they're real good. They're number 3 on the list. They ain't number 2 though. Bam! The Baltimore Ravens. Shout out John Hopkins University in
Ravens
Baltimore. Lucas
flock,
Neto,
baby.
brother. Lucas Neto. All right, they number 2, bro. They got a great defense, one of the best defenses in the league. They got a good offense. I was kind of considering putting the Eagles above them still, just because the Eagles are still really good, but the Ravens have been playing way too good for me to drop them. The Ravens are number 2. Number 1, they need no introduction. The team from California, the team from down south. We got the San Francisco, even though San Francisco's not south, we got the San Francisco 49ers. They got Deebo Samuel's that dude. Brock Purdy, he's something special now. They got Christian McCaffrey, MVP candidate. You never know. They got to give it to another position at some point. Christian McCaffrey's playing like Oscar said. George Kittle, maybe one of the best tight ends in the league, and that defense is something special. They held Jalen Hurts to what was it, 17 points? I don't even know. But anyway, that's my top 6 teams in the NFL. But remember,
Oh
guys,
yeah.
the list is fluid. The list is
The
fluid.
list
You
is
gotta
fluid.
remember
The
that.
list is fluid.
Even be in the house.
Hey, can we get one more bam, bro? Can we get one more bam?
Bam!
Oh,
Bam!
man.
Let's go! Let's go! We're hyped! We're
NFL.
hyped!
Yeah.
Bam! I
Bam!
don't know what. Carolina Panthers. They
What's
are
up, man?
looking.
What did I miss?
Bam!
What,
Out of
what,
bio.
what did I miss? What's going on? What just happened?
Oh man, wait,
Stephen B.
hold on,
Stephen B. passed
Steven,
by and just shook
you
out the
you missed
place.
him
So
again,
Bro, I wish
dude.
I could.
Stephen B. literally was just here, bro. You missed him again,
Bro, I
Yeah, Colin,
always
how's
miss
he
you every
miss
time.
Steven freaking
dude.
B?
He
I
was doing
always
the
dude, you
whole
gotta you gotta
man.
stop lacking whenever B comes around, bro.
Bro,
You
he,
gotta
he he
focus
was
up,
doing
bro.
all that fluid thermophysics, bam type stuff. Like, man, this guy's got a degree in physics or something, bro. Cause, man, he makes me fall for him, bro.
Bro, you guys gotta tell me. I always
Uh,
miss you. All right.
Man,
this
you
Well,
keep
guy.
missing out, bro.
anyway, those are our NFL power rankings going into Week 14. Speaking of NFL Week 14, we now transition over to our NFL Week 14 predictions as we do every single week.
Let's do
So
it.
we're gonna start off. Oh, we always film on Thursday, but now something happened. We gotta film on Saturday. So this game already happened. We're not gonna count
Listen,
our
man.
predictions.
Listen, man.
But
Nothing happened. We're academic weapons, baby. We're locking in for finals, baby. We had to lock in because if we don't lock in, we ain't gonna make it to another episode, man. We're gonna have to go back down to the projects. I ain't trying to do that.
okay, brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody here's
Well,
trying to
anyway,
do that.
Patriots,
My
their
set.
offense was looking hot. Steelers looked poverty. They scored 21 points in the first half, and they scored 0 points the rest of the game. However, the Steelers, they suck. Okay, so they lost. Patriots get their third win on the season. The Steelers lose 2 consecutive games to teams that are 2-10. Now let's go a little rapid fire here. We got the Houston Texans are playing the New York Jets. Who do you got?
Give it to me. Give it to me. Houston Texans, baby.
All right, what's going on, Marco?
Give it to me. I'm on that CJ Stroud train. He's the man, the myth, the legend. I'm taking the Texans this week.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we got to be aware at all times for the Oscar upset alert. But Oscar, what's
Yes,
going on,
but
man?
you know what? This is just straight and to the point. Got to pick the Texans, man. Sorry, Jets,
Yep.
but not your season.
Yeah.
Try again next year.
Yep, I got the Houston Texans as well. Then we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Baltimore Ravens.
I think it's pretty evident so far. We've seen how dominant the Ravens have been. Purely reflective of our power rankings. Dude, let's go Ravens, man. I'm taking the Ravens here.
I gotta go same thing here, man. This could be a good game. Rams have a decent offense. Kyron Williams coming back. But hey, bro, it's just
Nah,
the Ravens,
he's
baby.
been back, bro. He's been carrying my fantasy team too.
I
He's
know,
been-
man, and it hurts because I'm trying to do good in fantasy, man, but
Yeah,
it ain't
got the
coming out
Ravens.
my way.
I got the Ravens as well. Oscar.
Now, someone hovered over the alarm, but I'm glad that I can say that I think I'm going to pick the Ravens for this game. You know, the Ravens just very good team, and the Rams, I know they're gunning for that wild card spot, but it's just going to be an unfortunate game for them. Got to pick the
Yep.
Ravens.
All right, then we got the Panthers. They still have one win against the New Orleans Saints. I got the Saints personally.
They got one win, and they're gonna stay at one win.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Nothing much to talk about here. I'm taking the Saints. I'll take anybody over the Panthers this year.
Oscar.
Man, I'll even take UCF over the Panthers.
Oscar, what do you think? Uh,
You see, yeah, it's
Oscar.
all
You
good. We're
Oh,
gonna assume
F.
we cannot expect an Oscar upset alert in
he's
that
coming back.
pitiful of a
Hold on.
game.
He's coming back. He's coming back. Hold on. Oscar, can you hear us? United States to Oscar.
Yes,
Where,
yes.
where are
Lo-
you?
London
What did the
has
Queen do to Oscar?
reception.
No, the Queen's
London
dead, bro. The King, it's the King.
Exactly. Same thing, bro.
London has reception. We're
All
back in
right, I'm gonna
London.
just assume he's gonna pick the Saints. So we'll move along. We got
Yes,
the
I
Indianapolis
got
Colts against the
I got the
Bengals. If he says
Saints.
otherwise, we'll let you guys know. But
I
Colts versus
have the
Bengals.
Saints.
What do you guys
Hello.
think?
Dude, this honestly, bro, this is such a hard game to choose because,
Yeah.
bro, the Bengals played great, bro. But I don't see him doing it again, bro. I gotta go with the Colts, baby. Whoop, whoop.
All right, Marco. What do you?
Honestly, honestly, I was pretty encouraged on what I saw with Jake Browning this past week. I think he's real low key with it. I think he's nice with it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bengals here. I think they can sneak it out here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna go with the Colts. But I would not be surprised either way. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. Um, we'll let Oscar catch up when he comes back eventually. But we'll move along now. Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Again, this game could go either way. Both just the battle of the mid. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
but I think the Buccaneers defense is pretty good, but honestly, this is a really really tough pick, and I think I'm gonna take the Buccaneers here.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers.
Hello. Can you guys hear
Yeah,
me
I'll
now?
just say I don't know. I don't. Yeah,
Oh, he's back.
Perfect. Yes, I do pick the Saints, and I'm also gonna go with the Colts.
Okay.
So
All right. Cool.
yeah.
Marco, what do you got? Bucks Falcons. Sorry.
yeah. I I didn't know much about the Colts. I don't really know much about the Buccaneers and the Falcons, but from what I have seen this year on the Buccaneers, I did like what I saw. So I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers here.
All right. Cool. Oscar, what do you think?
You know, this really could be a toss-up. And due to that, this is not an upset alert game, but I do have to go with the Buccaneers. I think
All
they're
right.
just gonna outlast the Falcons. Falcons have been on a downward trajectory lately, man. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then we got the Jaguars versus the Browns. I'm not sure yet. I don't think anyone knows really if T-Law is gonna play, but
Man, if T Law plays, I got the Jags. If T Law doesn't play, I got the Browns. I think the Browns are gonna take this one.
can we do that? Can we do ifs? What ifs? Are we allowed to do that here?
Hey, regardless,
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
taking the Browns.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Browns here. I don't play uncertainty, and they need Trevor Lawrence to win. I think he is a big part of their team, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with Browns on this one.
Mark, if Trevor Lawrence plays, you're still picking the Browns.
Yes, I will still pick the Browns if
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence plays.
All right, Oscar, what do you think? Oh no.
Great pick, Oscar.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right.
We'll get that pick from Oscar to you guys as soon as we can.
I am gonna. Oh, now there's
We got 2 Oscars.
two Oscars.
What is the Queen doing to Oscar?
Dude, he got duplicated. Oh, he's okay. One Oscar. Browns Jaguars.
You know what? Another probably tight matchup. I can't really call this one an upset alert, but I gotta pick the Jags, man. I know Trevor Lawrence is having, some health issues, but I think the Jags can still pull this off. They're a good team.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing Mark said. Like, if Trevor Lawrence plays, I got the Jags. If he doesn't, I got the Browns. But I don't know if I can do that. So overall, I'm gonna pick the Cleveland Browns are gonna win this game. But I will not be surprised if the Jaguars do win. Lions versus
they're-
Bears. Can we all skip this? We gotta go. So
Do
Yep.
you
Lions,
do
baby.
you do you smell that? Is that what
Oh
I think
no.
it is? Am I hearing something right now? Is that a London
You guys hear
bus?
that?
No, I don't think it is. What is that? Marco, can
Bro,
you hear that?
this is so
What
bad.
is that?
Bro, I don't know what's happening. I can't even lie. This is not.
I think I think we were getting an An upset alert.
Bro, I'm trying
I
to pull
think
up
I
the
think
upset alert, man.
wee 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 very controversial
Thank you
very
guys. Thank you
controversial
guys.
take here. But the Lions, they
No,
play a divisional rival, the Chicago Bears, and although they should be tanking, this team always finds a way to go backwards, and somehow, some way, I think the Bears are just gonna weirdly win this game. And this is a game we're gonna be looking at next week and be like, how the frick did the Bears win this game? What are the Lions doing? And this is also
The
why
Bears.
I think Lions are having a lot of
the
trouble closing out games. We saw it last week against the Saints. They should be beating teams handedly, and they're not. So I think somehow, some way, the Bears are just gonna win this game, man. That's my upset alert of the week right there.
interesting pick. Interesting pick. All right. Next, we got the Seahawks versus the 49ers. Can we skip this one, please?
Yeah, we can all skip this one. I think the 49ers are going to take this.
Marco, 49ers, Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm taking. This isn't gonna be in the conversation for me after what I saw last week.
All right, Oscar. Oscar.
He also picks the 40. Yeah, great take, buddy.
Yeah, great pick.
Buddy.
He chooses a tie.
Great pick, buddy.
Good job, Oscar. Proud of you there, man. What a smart guy. All right, we got the Vikings versus the Raiders.
May I do the honors?
Yeah.
Raiders! Man, I got the Raiders in this one, bro. I can't lie, man. I got the Raiders, bro. You know, listen, man, we may be getting Jay Jettas back, but you can't count out the Raiders.
Yeah, both teams here coming off the bye week. But I'm gonna go. I think the Pastrana he had a week to calm down and get things going back again with his new team. I'm still gonna go with the Vikings here.
Nah, man.
Marco, what do you
I'm
think?
going Vikes here, guys. I'm going Vikes. I think Jay Jett is back. I think Josh Robinson solidified himself. He's been a little shaky the last couple weeks, 5 picks, but I still think that he can pull it together with that much needed receiver core. So I'll take Vikes here, guys.
Nice. All right, Oscar. Great pick, man. Nice. Good
He
job.
picked the Raiders.
He picked some. Oh, he's gone.
He is gone now. The Queen kidnapped him again. Oh, he's back. Thank you for returning him.
Sorry for the technical difficulty.
Sorry, guys. You know, we're trying to go worldwide, but we have
he's
some
back.
trouble with that.
Shush. Oscar, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Okay, so I was highly considering the Seahawks for upset alert, but you know what? I just can't bet against the 49ers right now. Gotta pick the Niners and Raider Nation. You know what? I'm going with ya.
Raiders! Raiders! My seat just fell backwards. I don't care. Raiders!
Okay. Also,
Let's
I think
go.
I might have figured something out. Give me 1 second. I think this should work now. Okay. Oh, please. Oh.
Oh!
Yay! Upset alert.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was the upset alert for the other game that he picked, but it's fine. Okay. Broncos Chargers rapid fire. Let's go.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's
I
ride.
got the Chargers.
Let's ride. Broncos country! Let's freaking ride! Let's go, Broncos country. Let's ride, baby. You already know. Let's go. Mr. Unlimited. Unlimited. Bro, you know how many touchdowns he's finna be playing? Unlimited.
All right, Marco, what's going on?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Look, I don't know much about either team. I hate Mark Francis so much, so I'm picking the Chargers.
Okay.
Oh, man, you count out Mr. Unlimited.
After last
Alright,
week's showing,
Bill-
I like the Chargers, but after last week's showing, ain't nobody can root for them. So Broncos country, that's right.
Let's ride. Let's ride, baby. Let's flip it ride.
All right, Bills versus Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Gotta go with the Chiefs, especially gotta get that
Yeah.
bounce back game after Green Bay. Uh, should have been my upset alert of the week. Would have been great, honestly. I was thinking about it, but damn.
Mark,
Bills are the newest poverty team in the AFC. I think they're on the downhill. I'm taking the Chiefs.
all right, you all got the Chiefs. Now the Bills are going to win, so that's just great. All right,
That's just sensational,
the Eagles versus Cowboys, game of the week for sure.
dude.
Very important
I
game.
mean, I I
Gotta
really
disagree with
want
you,
to choose the
Colin.
Cowboys here.
Gotta disagree with you, Colin.
What's the disagreement about?
This is what's gonna happen. So listen here, folks. The Eagles are the older brother to the Cowboys, and the Eagles just got bullied by the Niners and got their lunch money stolen. So since the Eagles don't have lunch money anymore, there's only one place they can get it from, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. So this game, it's gonna be an ugly one, and the Eagles are gonna trounce all over those Cowboys.
Man, I need Jalen Hurts to do good in fantasy. I really want to choose the Cowboys, but I need to come back good in fantasy. Please, Jalen Hurts, do something, please. I'm begging you, please. I got the Eagles, please, please.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are. I think they just slipped up a little bit against the best team in the NFL, arguably. I think they're going to win in dominant fashion. I'm taking Eagles.
Yeah. Cowboys are favored in this game. I don't know about dominant fashion, but I'm still going to go with the Eagles because until the Eagles lose to the Cowboys, I'm going to pick them every single time. Packers versus the Giants. What do you think? Well, I mean, I got the Packers personally. I think
Packers.
If I could just say one thing, I got the Packers as
Packers,
well. But the
come on now,
Packers, they are
Packers.
coming in. They're coming in hot in the NFC, and it's in a really good fashion.
Hey man, the Packers, they're milking that fresh milk and they're making some damn good cheese. That's all I gotta say, man.
yeah,
Man, they're making them good cheese curds. I'll tell you that for dang sure.
absolutely. Marco, you picked the Packers? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I did pick the Packers in this one.
Okay. And then the last game, we don't even have to say anything because we all know who's going to win on this Monday Night
The
Doubleheader.
Miami Dolphins,
Go Fins
Miami
up.
Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
Absolutely. All right. Well, sorry for all the technical difficulties, but we
Sorry
had to go
guys.
worldwide.
Yeah,
Where it's like
gotta go
we got
worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305. Want to step up in the room? Dale, we're out here.
Yeah. Well, Mark, you want to send us away?
You bet. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. We hope you have a wonderful Saturday night, and we are, especially I am at T Jam, winky face.
Oh my
But
God.
hey guys, great week. God bless you all. We'll see you all next week, hopefully in an in-person podcast. And Get It Right Saturday
See
night.
you
You know
guys
I
from
am. You know we all
Geneva.
are too. Broncos country, let's ride. Go Raiders. Woo!
Still, he's still going worldwide. He's going to believe us.
We're so worldwide.
Miami.
Watching.
Pound it. Noggin. See ya.